All right, so this is our first foray into building a video series about different DAWs with the Macropad 4chord MIDI. Here we're going to try out an 80s tune using GarageBand. And the goal is to get this done under 5 minutes. I think I can get it closer to 4. So we've got our tracks already laid out using our classic TR-707, a gamer organ, fairy tale bells for the melody. We'll add some percussion with the 707, the coffee shop presets. The Macropad 4chord MIDI has pre-built-in screens for the usual percussion controls and MIDI commands, so they map to acoustic drum kits like the standard drum kit you would see, electric kind of drum machine kits, which is what we're using here to build a kick and a snare pattern, and then you can use percussion MIDI mappings as well to map to other instruments. Here we're going to, let's see, claves or maraca. Let's use the maraca. All right, so we're going to use the maraca as a percussion instrument and just lay down a maraca track. Good enough. And for these, this is often my MIDI hack in GarageBand. I'll see if that first measure came out fine. If so, I'll just trim the end and then repeat the good section over and over and over again. That's what we did for the TR-707. We'll do for the coffee shop. And now we're going to switch to change some MIDI settings. I want to soften the attack and the release for the melody. So we're going to change the values of the MIDI commands being sent for the attack and the release. And then we switch over to triad mode where we're going to pick a chord progression. Here it's a 2, 5, 1, 3 in the key of A. And each key is a note in the triad 4 chord. So I'm going to hammer each chord in C just together. It's not bad. Good enough. So we're going to use the 80s classic fairy tales bells synth. We're going to march a progression using each of the keys in the triad. I'll go to my MIDI hack, GarageBand, where we pick the best one and then repeat. And then for the that's kind of giving us a harmony. And for the melody, what we're going to do is use the organ, and we're just going to march down the notes in each chord. So it's like we're arpeggiating the chords, but following the same progression. So we're mirroring the progression and the harmony, but very easy to just play the first, the third, and the fifth in each chord in the triad. That's kind of it. Now we're just going to extend out the harmony, let the bass or let the percussion kind of fill in. That's it. And so that's it. In about 4 minutes, we created like an intro to an 80s synth hit or something. Just using the presets for the triad mode in the Macropad. Try it yourself. It's on GitHub. Look for the username Decker Ego, and it's the Macropad 4chord MIDI.